Hi, my name's Karen and I'm the partner of Franny, who has a diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia. I first met Susan at the point of his diagnosis a couple of months in, when we'd been quite lonely and isolated. So Susan coming along was a great gift. She came into the house and gathered us up and gave us all the information we needed, but not too much, just enough to keep us going. Franny gets on exceptionally well with her, she gets on with the whole family, and she links us to every service we need, so I'm not wondering where I'm going. I don't have to worry, she's my first port of call. Give her a phone and things are fixed, and that's very, very, very important, because with a diagnosis you don't know what's happening. So when somebody comes in and said, you know, it's not good but it's going to be okay, that's a really nice thing to have.
The importance for somebody with dementia and their carer in having someone that knows and is skilled in understanding the diagnosis is exceptionally important. Receiving a diagnosis can be devastating, but it's not the end of the world. It's really important that in my role as a younger onset link worker, that I understand what that person is feeling. I can't know what it's like for them, but I have the knowledge, the experience and the skill and the understanding of the condition and how I can best support them to manage that.
When I first started thinking, I can't remember things, I started thinking, hope. This isn't, I'm going to be like normal. Because she got diagnosed, but it was too late. And she just deteriorated. And we couldn't do nothing about it. So when I got told, it was devastating. I thought, 2 years from now I'll be in a home and I'll be forgotten about, because I'll be no good to anyone. I'll not know anyone. And I'll just be sitting there looking out a window, having a clue where I was. And I just couldn't see past that at first. But when Julia came, when you came, you just opened up a new avenue. And it started putting pieces by pieces. I was still scared in case I'm going to land in a home. Still got that fear it won't leave. But you explained an awful lot and it helped us. I don't think I could have got through that wee bit without you. Thank you very much.
I hope this is all right because I've wrote it myself. My name is Helen Kelly. When I first found out I had Alzheimer's, I was in a state of shock. I suddenly felt very depressed, angry and frustrated. I had panic attacks and did not want to speak to anyone or go out of the house. That was until I was introduced to Alison Brady, the Diagnostic Support Link Worker, who helped me with my anger and frustration. Alison changed my whole life and outlook towards dementia, showing me how to carry on and lead a normal life, just like I always had. I do not know what I would have done without people like Alison.
The girl said to her, a psychologist said that she had Alzheimer's dementia. Catherine put a face on as if it was just she'd been told about the cold, but I knew what was going on inside her. I had a good idea. And I probably at the same point felt very, very isolated, and deep down I knew, but even then I didn't know how I was going to cope with it, how it was going to progress. So you actually come into the house and started, I don't know, it was like having a great, great friend, having a link worker. And it actually put us into different paths of what was required. One was whenever we went to do the power of attorney. That was one that we were terrified, because in our own minds it was like, this is a death sentence. We're going to sign up for power of attorney because we'll have to do it because that's the end. But after speaking to you as well, then it made more sense for power attorney. It wasn't the end, it was just what circumstances could and probably would come.
Discussing the future often means enabling difficult conversations with the person with dementia and their families and supporters. A link worker can facilitate discussions that may not otherwise happen, ensuring that the person with dementia's voice is heard and that the people who may be making those decisions in the future are doing so with the person's consent.
I've seen people worse than me and I've tried to help them. We meet in wee groups, we go to cafes together, and I don't know, it doesn't worry me having it now, because I've got so many friends and we're all in the same boat.
Peer support's a very important part of the 5 pillars, and it's a place where people who are going through dementia can find support from other people that are going through that journey, and they know that they're not alone in that. And so that's the part that we find works very well for people, so that they have that support from each other.
One of the main goals of a link worker is to support each person they are working with, to maintain and, where possible, build on existing community connections and everyday support networks. They aim to help people overcome barriers, such as no longer being able to drive or loss of confidence. Many people with a diagnosis of dementia can be at risk of losing contact with their friends, activities and networks. And this can lead to isolation and disconnection, which can be very difficult to reverse, resulting in personal and community connections being replaced by more formal services. If someone, as a result of a diagnosis, has stopped participating in something that they love, like playing golf for example, the link worker would explore ways of accessing a volunteer driver or buddy from the local golf club. They would help introduce basic strategies to overcome any concerns, and they would link in with the local dementia advisor and the golf club to offer some dementia-friendly training and advice. These small interventions are just some of the examples of how a link worker can ensure that a person stays included and maintains a strong sense of self. By using these natural supports as real assets and building on these strengths, link workers really help people with dementia to maintain important community connections.